Today is August 23rd, 2026 here, and we have a brand new episode. Welcome back to the Checking From Behind podcast. I'm your host, Zach. So we're joined by my two favorite co-hosts of all time, Preston and Chris. And I got my Celsius. I'm fucking wired up right now, fellas. How are we doing?
Doing good. Got the witch's brew today.
What the fuck is that?
Bro,
Caramel apple. Shit's fire.
You have the weirdest fucking energy drinks, man.
Bro, Alani's good as fuck.
You always have a different one every fucking week.
Alani is really good.
Because they're all so good.
You just go to a gas station like every morning and just buy a new can?
Yeah, they're 2 for $5.
I mean, you drink what, like 2 of those a day?
Yeah.
I feel that. I drink 2 of my Celsius a day.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It's the same amount.
Yeah, I'm officially gone every day this month without having any caffeine. So
I'm talking about.
I can't.
I can't
it's
anymore.
only rough like the first week. Actually, the headaches were worse the second week in the nighttime, but
Yeah.
I'm chilling now.
You know what? I think I know why I fell asleep during the Bills game yesterday.
No caffeine.
I only had one.
Oh, that could be a real reason why.
Yeah.
Do you have a headache?
No, I was just tired as fuck. But I got like 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep. So it's not like I was missing sleep.
Yeah.
I tried to quit caffeine a couple months ago. I went like a month without it. First 2 weeks, worst time of my life, right? It felt like I was hungover times 25. And then I was doing good. And I was like, holy shit. These Celsius got vitamin A, vitamin B, A, C, D, like B12, like you had everything. And plus had the caffeine, so I went back to them.
No, if it works for you, it works for you. No one's telling you have to quit.
Calcium and vitamin C.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I drink it for the love of the game. Zach drinks it for the vitamins.
You know what vitamins were in? All I knew was like vitamin B and shit was in energy drinks.
B12,
Just, yeah.
zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
Good
They're
shit.
Listen, people like to say energy drinks are bad for you. I like to think Alani and Celsius are not. Okay.
No, it is unequivocally bad for you.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Shit, I'm
we're
dying.
Currently taking years off our lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Your
I'm
heart
dying.
right now.
My heart's literally like at a steady rate.
Shit.
If y'all don't believe me, you can feel my pulse. I don't give a shit.
I'm just saying caffeine's not good for your heart.
Oh,
Like,
Oh, no, it's bad for your heart.
yeah.
But speaking of your heart, yesterday I ran a 7:32 mile.
W.
Anyways,
Who can run a faster mile, Preston or Zach?
Right now, I cannot.
No, you haven't been going to the gym.
No.
I remember back, you ran a marathon, right?
No.
No.
Not a marathon.
Ran a
Sorry,
5K.
you ran a 5K.
Yeah, marathon's a
There's
completely
marathon's
different animal.
26 miles.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
guys.
no.
He ran a
5K
5K.
is like 3.5 miles or something like that. Marathon, no. Maybe like last year I probably could have ran like a half marathon, but right now I ain't doing shit.
You are not in shape.
It's been a rough year.
It's all right, though. We get back to business here. All right. Well, the Islanders jersey contest has officially wrapped up here, and the Lighthouse jersey ends up taking home the Navy one. Again, nothing too crazy. The Islanders, I felt like this was one of the 2 jerseys that could actually, be solid out of the top 4.
Yeah, I had a feeling that one was going to win. I think the other one just got as far because of what it was matched up against. But yeah, the Lighthouse one probably was always going to win.
They took the cheap way out. They had a fan contest instead of actually paying someone to design them.
Yeah, I'm still not a huge fan of that, and I'm sure other teams are going to see the success of that and say, "Oh, we're going to do the same fucking thing." At least give us more options to design a cooler kit than just like 5 pre-selected jersey styles and like 6 different logos. I thought that was kind of boring. I was going in there. I was like, I might submit something. This might be fun. And then I saw how boring it was. And like, I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's like all preset colors. Have some fun.
Why can't the
If you're gonna have a
Islanders...
fan voted contest, at least make it widely accessible. Like you have more options than just 4.
And Chris has seen my jersey designs. I make some great jerseys. Yeah,
You will see them in Shell.
hopefully. Yeah,
Jacksonville White Sox type.
Sir.
yeah.
That's our
Hopefully,
team name.
hopefully at some point in connected franchise, they give us an option to like
Have an expansion team.
teams or relocate teams. Like you could do that in Madden, like in
Yes, you can
the
relocate
online
them,
franchise.
But I believe in Madden, you can only choose from like pre-selected locations. You can't just go anywhere.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah, don't they give you like 10 or 12 locations, something like that.
Yeah.
But then you can customize like everything. They also give you like pre-selected stadiums. I remember back in this was Madden 12 or 13. You can relocate anywhere. You can customize your stadium anywhere, and now EA and Madden just like, yeah, by the way, here's pre-made stadiums and names and shit. So, how about Connor McDavid becoming the first 99 overall? I mean, nothing too crazy there. Well deserved. I mean, yeah, I guess this is the first 99 in the modern era because I think Yager was a 99 at one point way back, like 25 years ago. But again, nothing too crazy. McDavid, he well deserves it. Just, a little bit of news there popping up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it took him so long to have a 99 in NHL. I mean, he's the only one that's deserved it. You could argue Crosby or Ovi, but like in like the modern era since he became an NHL player, he's the only guy that you could say he should be a 99 every year.
You would also think he should have gotten this 2 or 3 years ago when he was coming off those ridiculous seasons, like his 150-point season, his insane playoff run. But the one season where it's considered a down year for McDavid, and he was still, top 3 to 4 in points in the league? Like, it's one of those things. All right, well, we got actual news to go over now. The NHL has, I guess, officially kind of put like a timeline on expansion teams where they want to move to Texas, 99% most likely Houston by 2029. And then after that, they also want one more expansion team by 2034. So in the next 10 years, we'll be having 34 teams in the NHL. Of course, very exciting times. I'm so to think that I think 32 teams is perfect. You have 8 teams in each division. Very, very well rounded. I feel like if you get to like 34 or 36 teams, saturation is really like watered down in my opinion. And plus, I feel like 9 teams in each division at one point, if it does ever get to that point, it's kind of buns. But also, I do think having one division in each conference having 9 teams as well, and the other one having it is also dog shit in my opinion. But again, that's just me. But I am excited for the NHL expanding into southern markets.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of expansion. I wasn't super excited I was excited for the prospect of having new teams and everything, but I was perfectly happy with the NHL at 30 teams. I know I'm a bit more conservative when it comes to my view of the league and the NHL compared to you guys, especially Zach. But I feel like it kind of just dilutes the talent a little bit, makes it harder for teams to build, especially if you're in the middle of the pack. I mean, it's going to make scouting even more important, of course, where, I could see that argument of it as like, we'll just get better scouts. But yeah, I think the NHL is also going to need to consider re-evaluating how they have the division set up. Because I think eventually, because obviously they want another expansion team in the next few years after the first one, because they want to balance out the East and the West to make sure they have the same amount of teams, which makes complete sense to me. But yeah, you're going to have one division then with 9 teams, and the other one with 8. Honestly, I think the NHL eventually their goal is 36 teams.
Yeah, I think you're going to have 18 teams per side. I think if you're going to do that, you're going to have 14 divisions again.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something to rebalance the divisions. Just having that many teams in a division just be too much.
I think at that point you're going to have to either expand the playoffs or go back to 1 versus 8. I think there's no way this.
It wouldn't shock me if they expanded the playoffs or had like a wild card round similar to like what baseball does or like a play-in tournament like the NBA does. Just because all the NHL seems to really care about right now is expanding revenue growth for their owners, and adding more playoff games would do that because the owners net all the profit from playoff games, and they love it. Like, I'm sure Terry Bagul's over the moon this year because this is the first year he ever got to collect that shit.
Yeah, and they sure sold out every game.
Oh yeah, it was just the hype you generate around the fans. You get more people eyes on your games. You get more people wanting to come to your games. Like, even if it's like you can criticize the player tournament all you want for the quality of teams in it, but it's been a huge success for the NBA. Gets people to watch it, gets butts in seats. They sell out the games, generates hype. That's all the NBA cared about, and it worked.
And you don't, like you said, you don't even need to necessarily call it the play-in round, like take a page out of the book of the NBA. Like you brought up, you can call it like a wild card round where you have those two. You have it be a play-in, but let's say in each conference you have 4 extra teams that end up going in, and then the 2 teams that come out of it can end up being in the playoffs at that point. Like you said, it brings in extra revenue. It's extra hockey for, honestly, fans, the media, and everybody to watch. And you don't even have to make it like a long thing. You can just kind of have a bracket style like the NBA does, where you would have, what is it? Like 7 versus 8 and then 9 versus 10?
So it's 7 versus 10 and then 8 versus 9. And then I believe if you're the 7 or 8 seed, you have to lose twice to not make the playoffs. Or something like that.
Yeah, it is that.
I don't know. It's a little No. So I think the way it works, I don't fucking know how it works, honestly. I'm not going to answer a question. I don't know how it works.
I don't watch basketball, so I don't know.
Hold up. I'm going to look it up now.
So I believe in the game, if it's 7 versus 10, if the 7 seed wins, they're just the 7 seed in the playoffs. And I believe and then whoever loses plays the winner.
So
I don't fucking
this is how, so I pulled it up. So this is how it goes. So 7 plays 8, 9 plays 10. If whoever wins of the 7 and 8 team becomes the 7th seed, and then whoever wins of the 9 and 10 ends up playing the loser of 7 to 8, and the winner of that ends up becoming the 8th seed. So whoever loses on the 9th and 10th seed is out automatically. Like you said, if you're the 7 or 8 seed, you have to lose twice, but you only have to win once to make it in. So
then you get the honor of getting your ass kicked in the first round because the NBA has a really bad competition issue.
Yep. So top heavy. Very, very, very. And I think in the NHL too, you would still get that where most playing teams wouldn't make it out. Like we could probably see the first seed winning in 5 games, 4 games, something like that. But again, and
that's typically standard fare though. It's like a 1 versus 8. It's like not many cases where there's been a few series. It's usually competitive. I would say this year's case with Colorado playing LA was a bit more of an outlier, but where Colorado just kicked their ass because LA in most years is not even sniffing the playoffs. They were overtime merchant, OTL merchant team, pretty weak conference outside of those top teams. In the East, I know Ottawa got swept, but those games were competitive at least. LA, those games were never really competitive. But the other wild card, Buffalo and Boston. Boston put up a good fight, and then what was the other one in the West? It was
Vegas against Utah.
Utah put up a fight too. So it's NHL. I would say it has much less of a competition issue than the NBA for sure. I think anyone could tell you the NBA has a really bad competition issue right now, where it's the same teams that seem to win every year.
Although they haven't had a repeat champion in 8 years, so
I'm sure that's what they used to argue against that. Yeah. But 76ers coming this year.
Super Team Part 3.
Yes, sir.
So with the play, and this is what it'd be like in the Eastern Conference, you had Washington against the Red Wings, and then Blue Jackets against the Islanders.
No, get that. No,
we're going to technically be so the wildcard teams this year were Boston and Ottawa, so it would be Boston.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Versus Ottawa, then
Washington against
Columbus.
Detroit.
Detroit, okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Detroit does not belong anywhere near the playoffs.
Washington would fucking smoke them.
Well, yeah,
they
should.
Last season, before their additions, obviously.
Yeah, Washington should have been a playoff team.
I think they
Philly came out of nowhere.
I think they still would have. We still would have had Boston, Ottawa, but I think Ottawa would have been the first wild card team, and Boston would have been too. Because I think Ottawa does win that game, and I think Boston does beat Washington or Detroit.
I wonder if they would even make it a 1-game elimination thing. Can you imagine in that 9 versus 10 game, if it was a single game elimination, they would kill each other, literally murder each other.
Yeah,
right from the get go, It'd probably be entertaining. It'd either be really entertaining to watch because there'd be a ton of fights, or it'd be boring as fuck because there'd just be a bunch of scrums and just 4-on-4 time.
Could you imagine Detroit and Ottawa playing that play-in game?
I mean, Ottawa would just beat the shit out of the Red Wings.
But it would just be fun to watch, just all the fights.
The first shift of the game, Brady Tkachuk would just punch Larkin right in the nose.
Well, you don't got to worry about that anymore.
Well, I'm saying, but last year
we saw that in Game 4 of the Hurricanes Senators series. The Senators did not give a shit about hockey.
Yeah, I bet you they lined up with their face off. Chuck's like, "Hey, Dylan, you want to go?" He's like, "Fuck no, I can't fight you." And he's like, "Okay," and they just drop the puck, and Brady just punches him in the face anyway. It's the message.
In the Western Conference, you would have had Utah against LA and St. Louis against Nashville.
Yeah. So
might even be worse than the East.
That's way worse than the
I'm
East.
personally not a fan of the NHL expanding the playoffs. I think you want the best teams in. I don't think you want to dilute that at all.
Yeah. But expanding that would just ruin that. You would have a bad team that shouldn't be in there make it.
I feel like it's kind of inevitable, though, because if you're going to get to 34 teams, and I believe eventually to 36, you're going to get to a point where these owners want their team to be able to get into the playoffs easier, where for some owners, they care about winning. And for some owners that just care about making money. And for those owners that want to make money that necessarily aren't putting the contending teams together every year, they're going to want a taste of that playoff pie for the every once in a while when they have a solid year. So,
I mean, at some point, I don't know if the NHL would ever go down this route because they never have in their existence. But if we get 36 teams, because I don't think they're going to expand the playoffs to 34. I mean, they might, but I don't think they will. I think if you get to that 36 team, they will expand the playoffs. Or, they will expand the playoffs. Do you go 10 at that point? Do you go 10 teams in each conference? Just do I think that would be like the one would smoke the 10 team. Or do you only do 9 teams and the top team in each conference gets a bye? Like, do you go that route instead? Like, there's so many variables and X factors you have here.
But in hockey, I think it'd be different than football. You're having, potentially 2-3 weeks off, for a bye. I think that hurts a team more than it would
unless you go this route. And I like the point that you brought up, because when you're off for 3 weeks, that hurts a team. Game 1, that first seed's coming out flat. We saw Carolina do it when they swept Philly, Montreal smoked them, and then after that, Carolina, obviously won 4 straight. But what if they also went a route like this where, okay, Carolina would still get that bye. Let's say they're first in the East, for example. If they would get that first round bye, but then the quote-unquote first round, instead of being like best of 7, it's like best of 5, for example, right?
So kind of like how baseball does it, where it's, single elimination, best of 3, best of 5, best of 7.
Yeah, but I don't think it would. I don't think it should work up that way. I mean, maybe you can do best of 3 and then go into best of 7. But I think the only one that should be less than 7 games is the first round. Then after you get to that, you get the 7 games.
I don't think the NHL would ever get rid of 7-game series.
No, I don't think either. It's just an idea thrown out there, because they've also never done like a bye in the playoffs at all. They've always had an even number of teams, which is, if they expand the playoffs, I foresee them going to just straight up 10 teams. But like we brought up too, that dilutes the playoff matchup so much, because again, you're gonna have I know it's more teams, but you're also going to have like an 85-point team being the 10th seed against a 112-point team in the conference and get fucking shit on. But again, it's good for revenue and good for money for the league and the owners too, like we brought up. So,
well, I also think another thing that's inevitable is, like we're already seeing it this year, is the expansion of regular season games where they're going up to 84.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me at all if, by the time we get to 34 teams and eventually 36, if they're playing like 90-plus games.
90-plus games would be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, but there's going to be more teams in the league, especially it depends how they reevaluate the divisions. That's one way you can prevent that is, redoing the conferences and the divisions to make a more balanced travel schedule, because the players aren't going to be a fan of that either. Mm-hmm. So the NHL is going to have to work closely with the players, because 90-plus games, like that's a lot of travel. Like our divisions are packed now. So, but I think right now with how it's set up, unless they make any change, I think having more games is inevitable, both from how the divisions are going to be stacked up for now and traveling. Is like you're just going to need more games. There's going to be more teams.
I think if you get into the more games part, I think that's when, come on, these players are not going to want to play 120 games all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, in my opinion, or more than that.
And they already do.
Oh, well, yeah, but you're going to have to play even more. Even if you add, 6 more games onto the season, are the players going to be 88 or 90 games a season, regular season is a bit much,
They're just going to shorten preseason again. No, you're going to get one preseason game and you're going to like it, and then you're going to go right into the season.
See, my thing with the preseason is it's I would say training camp's more important for the NHL players to get ready to go. And preseason's always been about evaluating your prospects and putting a couple of your vets in there, see if they can keep up and stuff like that. See what they do in a high end game where you have bubble players making the team. It's kind of like NFL preseason where if you're a star player, you're not going to play in the preseason. You might get a drive in just if you have a new player, you just want to build some chemistry with him.
Josh Allen got 2 drives with DJ Moore and then said bye-bye.
Exactly.
Well, also, you have to get used to the new field. Anyways, carry on.
But NHL players, we're not going to see Sidney Crosby really playing that much in the preseason. There's 4 games in the preseason this year?
Yes, there were 6.
Yeah, so I think the preseason, I think 3 is probably the least amount of games of preseason I think you should have, just to give those young players a real chance, because then it also leads to a problem where if you only have 1 or 2 preseason games, it's going to be really hard to give young players that opportunity to show what they can do.
It's also going to be really tough to kind of see what you got with the young players as well too, like you just brought up. I know I just said it, in a different way, but let's say 2 preseason games, right? Okay, at that point, any of your roster players aren't really going to get any time.
Yeah.
Even in game action, like you said, training camp is the most important. They get their legs back under them. They want to get up to speed, but also I think it's important for these NHL roster players to at least get 1 preseason game under the belt to feel that game action. Some of these players, believe it or not, well, a lot of the players, they also love taking a couple hits to kind of get their body back into it. They love to get back. They want, like, it's more than just like physicality too. It's getting your mind in that mode and that speed of being able to process things fast enough where if they don't play a preseason game at all and you get to that first game of the regular season, half of them could just start out slow, miss passes, miscommunication, like all that type of stuff, and I just think the preseason is important enough to keep it at, the 3 or 4 games like you brought up. So I don't foresee the NHL shortening it down really anymore from here on out. But again, you never know with that. I think there's, like I said, there's a lot of variables that the NHL has to take into account with making changes if they were to go to 36-team route. I think you keep everything the same with 34 teams, 84-game regular season, keep the playoffs as it is again. Do you want to add a play-in round or wild card round, whatever, like we brought up before, go for it with 34 teams. But with the 34 teams, redo the divisions. Make it even, please, for the love of Pete.
Yeah, I think division realignment is inevitable at this point, where having eventually 9 teams in each division, I think, is just unsustainable.
Too much.
Especially, like, you look out some of them, like, in the Pacific Division, the travel is already crazy just because they're so spread out. And then in the Atlantic also, like, never made much sense for me to have the Florida teams in the Atlantic Division, where, like, the other 6 teams make sense that they're all in the same division.
Like, you could have, say, I don't know, you could have Columbus in the Atlantic because it's,
the 2 teams that moved to the Atlantic geographically that makes the most sense would be Columbus and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But I don't think the NHL will want that, because the NHL wants that rivalry. Like, Pittsburgh has a long rivalry with Philadelphia and the Rangers, and so they don't want to mess those up.
But it's like weird though, because looking at the divisions, all 8 teams in the Metro do make sense geographically together though, except Columbus.
Yeah.
Right. Columbus fits.
I think they were just kind of thrown in when they moved over to the East.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. Oh, for sure, because. Yeah, I think with the Florida teams, they didn't really know what to do because, I think they ran into that issue too. They wanted to maintain rivalries, and Columbus was like, well, they're new in the conference. They don't have any rivalries with anyone in the Eastern Conference right now, so we'll just throw them in the Metro Division because that makes the most sense. But yeah, if they were going to redo that, I think they would have to make smaller. I think we would go back to 3 or 4 divisions in each conference.
Well, you're going to have, an extra team in a division anyway, because if we get up to 36 teams, that's, if you stay at 2 divisions, that's 9 teams per division. It's easier to go to 4 divisions, and one team's going to, or 2 of those separate divisions are going to have more teams.
Well, if you
I think they do 3 6-team divisions.
Yes, there we go. Do 3 6-team divisions. Make everything even. You can still have each team in the division play each other like 4 times or whatever, 5 times, something like that. But if you get the 36 teams, you do 3 6-team divisions. Now with the 34 teams, you're gonna have one odd no matter what. So
if you kind of like when Vegas came into the league,
exactly. Like even if you do 3 divisions, you're still you have 2 5-team divisions and then 1 6-team division still.
So, like, let's just looking at the map, like, let's just play a little game where we kind of make our own divisions. So let's start off with the Western Conference.
Go for it.
I would probably so we're doing 6 teams.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a little dicier. The Western Conference.
I do Seattle, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary.
Is that 5 teams?
Yeah, as the 5-team division. If we're going up to 4.
Wait, which teams did you have?
I had Seattle, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I think.
I guess you could throw in like Minnesota, if you had to get to that 6th team.
Well, right now, like, let's just assume 34.
Okay, so yeah, those 5 right there would be what.
And then obviously in California, you'd have San Jose, LA, Anaheim, Vegas. I think Utah gets thrown in there, and Colorado, or I think Colorado would make the most geographical sense.
Would that be the 6-team division or the 5-team?
6. Well, you just said the Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Seattle, so Winnipeg would be the 5-teamer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'd get 2 5 and 1 6, right? Or no?
So then, are you gonna throw both expansion teams in the East then?
No, one's in Houston and one's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I forgot. We're doing 3 teams in the West. My bad. 3 divisions each. But then, let's say for like the Central Division, right? You would throw obviously Houston, Dallas, St. Louis,
Chicago,
Nashville.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, and Minnesota too.
Yeah, I mean we'd have.
That would be 7 teams.
Yeah, you have a 7, a 6, and a 5. That's what math is this?
Okay.
17 teams.
Yes. So right now we have 2 8-team divisions.
That's 16.
So you add 17. So one would have 9 teams. So we have 17 total.
But if we're making our own divisions,
17 divided by 3 is 5.6.
Yeah, I mean the divisions would be all fucked.
Yeah, they're not relying on the divisions.
We tried this shit. Like no.
Stupid.
Yeah. We can't even make it through the West.
I wanna see something. So we'd have 5.
I mean, it would make the most sense if they were to realign.
You would have 2 6-team divisions and then 1 5-team division. So I would make the Pacific Division the 1 5-team division. Then I'd make the other 2 the 6-team division. So we would keep Vancouver, Seattle, Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg as the 5 teams, right?
Yes.
In the Pacific, you would have San Jose, LA, Anaheim, Vegas, Utah, and Colorado, in my opinion. And then you would have Houston, Dallas, that's 2, Blues, 3, Nashville, 4, Minnesota, 5. Chicago moves to the East. Oh, sorry, Chicago stays in the West.
Chicago
That's 6.
stays.
That's 6.
I was going to say Chicago's not moving to the East.
Sorry, that's 6. I did my math wrong. So we have the West there.
Yeah.
Now the East is a little bit more crowded, but we can make it work.
Yeah, I think you'd probably have
Detroit, Buffalo, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Boston.
I would
say Columbus instead of Boston.
I would do Columbus.
I think you want to maintain that rivalry with Toronto, Montreal, and Buffalo.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking geographically.
You have to also take into account some rivalry stuff.
Yeah, I would say I would do Boston.
Yeah,
I would do Boston.
That would be the 6-teamer.
Yes. So pretty much the current Atlantic without the Florida teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then in the quote-unquote realigned Metro Division, you would have Columbus, Pittsburgh, Philly, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Philly, New York, and New Jersey. That's the other 6-team division.
Yeah, and the 5er would probably be Washington, Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa, and Florida.
Yeah. But hey, we did it, boys.
I mean, Washington used to be in the Southeast Division.
Yeah. You are going to have some sort of travel in any divisions.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Well, it's inevitable because you got the Florida teams, the Western Canada teams. Like, we're still going to have interconference games where teams... Everyone's going to still be playing each other twice a year, one at home, one away.
This isn't like COVID where you had the all-Canadian fucking division.
Yeah, Montreal had to go to Vancouver 8 times in a season. Yeah. On an airplane during COVID rules. That sounds brutal.
Yeah.
It was so weird when we were on a plane during COVID. Like, they made us wear a mask, but they gave us food on the plane. I was like, huh? Like,
is that when I went to LA?
Yeah, and they were like, oh, you could just take the mask off between bites. And I was like, but when you're chewing, you have to put it back. And I was like, what the fuck?
I remember you had to do that shit in restaurants too. Everybody would have masks on or whatever, and they walk in the second you sit down, take the mask off. Nobody was wearing masks.
Well, you can't get COVID while you're eating. Yeah. You know that, right?
No, you can't. You can't. No. When you take your mask off and you eat, no, you can't get COVID. It's provenly scientifically correct.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, that is currently not correct. I don't know. Anyways, all that rules shit was stupid. Not going to get into it too much. All right, well, that was the NHL expansion. It's going to be happening sooner rather than later. We're taking a trip to Atlanta to watch their first ever inaugural game and watch them get smoked 7-0. We. All right.
I'm only going to Atlanta if Kirko Chains is there.
I don't think he's welcome back in that city.
Probably.
How about Corey Pronman of The Athletic calling our boy Zach Benson an average hockey player, 124th ranked U23 player that is currently in an NHL organization.
Which is insane because he has guys that have never touched the ice in the NHL above Benson, and Benson's going on his fourth season.
This sounds like a more personal thing to me.
Yeah, he's always had a bias against short players.
You want to know where has Gavin McKenna ranked? 18th among all U20. He has players that were drafted behind McKenna in front of him, mind you. Like
he has Cole Hudson at like 14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cole Hudson's played some NHL games, though. I think that's not completely unfair.
He has Lane Hudson at 11.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Who's his top 10?
You have it pulled up there.
I do. All right. I mean, obviously, we know his top three is pretty good. Bedard, Celebrini, and Schaefer. Here's where you get dicey. You got Leo Carlson, Logan Cooley, Seneca, and Demidov in your tier 3. That's not bad. You get Fantilli, Michael Misa.
Lane Hudson has to be above both of those guys.
Yes, he deserves to be in tier 2.
Chase Reed at 15.
Yeah. Albert Smits at 16.
Yeah, Keaton Verhoff, McKenna.
Then you get the Gavin McKenna.
And then Stenberg.
This is kind of...
Yeah.
This is fucking... Most of these guys were drafted in the last 2 years, by the way.
Yes.
Most of these guys have barely played in the NHL.
Yeah, and some haven't.
Yeah. I think Ryan Leonard 32 is very low.
Yeah. Half of these guys are either too high or way too low. I think this guy wanted to be different, to be honest with you.
Again, he has his bias against short players.
I've even heard of some of these guys.
He has Daxon Rudolph at fucking 45.
I think that's kind of valid. But then you get, like, in this range, you kind of get to, like, a bunch of just, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Gleb. Yeah, I mean, Shane Wright, 57. Hagen's 59.
Even, like, Brady Martin showed.
I'm not really high on Brady Martin.
Yeah.
He looked solid when he played.
Caden Lindstrom at 68.
He has to be lower.
He might. Yeah, I think he should be lower. He might not make it to the NHL.
Like his injury issues. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, Perek at 70. Where was the one that was like really
insane?
Yeah. I mean, he has Rutger McGroarty at fucking 80.
I don't think that's controversial.
I think it is. Above Zach Benson.
I think that's. I mean,
Zach Benson's the crazy one. Yeah. Having a guy who's played 3 full seasons in the NHL already.
Osen at 91.
Yeah.
Ben Kendall. Helenis. There was another one down here.
Is there like a tier 7?
Are you talking about Victor Eklund?
Yeah, they had Victor Eklund at like 125. Sandy Paleka.
Like, Zach Benson's in territory of guys who are not going to simp the NHL.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, here's Benson here.
Oh, do his drop down. This dude is fucking hilarious with Zach Benson. I don't mean to be ripping on him, but...
Yeah. Average skating, average hockey sense, above average puck skills, high-end compete.
Average hockey sense is blasphemy.
Yeah, he's one of the best...
And I don't mean to...
23 defensive-minded wingers in the league.
Like, maybe I'm just ripping on him because Zach Benson's our guy, but the entire NHL hockey world's been ripping on Corey Pronman. So I do not feel one...
So I think his analysis is pretty fair.
Well, yeah. I think the knock on him was always his skating wasn't the best.
Yeah. And that he was smaller.
But I kind of do agree why I don't think he'll ever be like an elite tier producer getting like 80, 90 plus points a year. I don't see... I think at his best he'll be like around 70-ish. But I don't necessarily hate the analysis. I think the ranking's way too low where you have him like ranked way below guys that have never played in an NHL game or have just been drafted this year. Like, it's one thing to, put him like Bedard or something above him where he's already better than him, right? Mm-hmm. But to guys that might not even make it to the NHL.
Fucking, he had Mintyukov at the fucking...
Yeah, I'm assuming most of the comments are about Zach Benson.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
Like, I don't think the analysis is terrible, but like him having him at 124 is kind of crazy to me.
Mintyukov just got a $70 million a year.
I mean, that's an overpay.
It's an overpay, but he's still an NHL defenseman.
He's definitely not 153rd best U23 player. in an organization.
No.
Like,
I mean, we got Mrazov.
I'd be curious to come back to this list in like 3 years and see like how many of these guys even made it to the NHL.
Yeah. A lot of them would not.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. I don't know. You know, even journalists have to get clicks and they have to generate.
This was on a podcast with 3 other people.
He defended his. He defended.
I thought the defense, where I got was a little stupid. Where he said that Montreal and Boston were shitty playoff teams.
They're playoff teams.
I think the only team you could make that argument for was like probably the Kings.
Yeah,
because they put up a fight, but it didn't really look like Colorado was ever really trying against them. But saying Boston, especially Montreal, shitty playoff teams is insane.
Wasn't Montreal 3rd in the division?
Yes, and they beat the Lightning and the Sabres, who finished above them. They lost to the Stanley Cup champion in the Eastern Conference Final, who, mind you, only lost 3 games in the entire playoffs.
They also beat Carolina once in Game 1.
Well, the Hurricanes didn't look ready to play that game.
No, they didn't. But still, though, it adds to our point. Shut up, both of you. No, I'm kidding.
Montreal definitely was not a shitty playoff team, and Boston gave the Sabres everything the Sabres could handle. That Boston tried their best. It was the Sabres were a better team.
Mm-hmm.
So, but to say that, that Boston and Montreal were shitty playoff teams is, I think, kind of tone deaf.
As your reasoning for having Benson so low.
Give me a better reasoning and explanation besides just saying they're shitty playoff teams.
Literally, you can't.
Tell me something about, he's played his 30 year in the NHL. His career high points is only 43. His defensive game is great, but his concern coming into the league is skating and size, and I'm still not a big fan of that. But that
hasn't been a terrible thing for him because he's still tenacious. He still battles really hard. Like, if a guy's like a foot and a half taller than him, he's gonna be at a disadvantage. But he knows how to use his body size to get under guys and win battles and get leverage, and that hasn't shown to be a weakness in his game, or he would not have played 3 seasons in the NHL. Right. He wouldn't have made the NHL as an 18-year-old rookie. Where
most guys in his draft position, like historically, usually take a year or 2 before they crack an NHL lineup.
So it was the 23 draft?
Yeah.
I'm just curious about something.
Like, you also take a look at the way Benson skates. Like you said, leverage. This dude knows how small he is, and he uses a lot of his leverage. Like, he skates so low to the ice, and then he's also very hard on pucks. He can find vision. Like, there was a play where against the Montreal Canadiens, he strips Lane Hudson of the puck behind the net. He ends up going back to the point, and the camera that's on him, he's literally just like skating there, and he finds his way to the front of the net and just taps it home.
So I will say, from the 2023 NHL draft, rated by games played in the league, there's only 4 players that made their team right out of their draft year. And that was Connor McDavid, Adam Fantilli, Leo Carlsson, the top 3 picks in that draft, and Zach Benson. Yeah. Michkov ended up coming over late in the year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and it was the second year, a complete full year after. I think Will Smith was the one that came in at the end of the year, right? Because he was in college. But outside of that, only 4 players that have made it to the NHL as an 18-year-old, and Zach Benson was the 13th overall pick, and everyone was shocked that even the Sabres were shocked that he made the team. They were like, this kid had such a good camp, and he looks so good, we can't deny him.
Yeah, I mean, they gave him his 9 games, and we're like, yeah, you're not going back.
Yeah, because at that point, what would playing in the WHL do for you?
Literally nothing.
I think if he could have gone to the AHL, they would have considered it, but the WHL was like, you're better off just developing here.
Yeah. I mean, he was already, fit the kind of mold they wanted, that he has that 2-way game that they need. Just if he could develop a shot or some offensive touch,
Like, we saw a little bit of it towards the end of the year last season, where
in the playoffs especially, we saw a lot of it.
We saw his playmaking ability, and like you brought up, he doesn't have the greatest shot, but he gets in front of the net and he buries like the dirty goals, and he's willing to do that dirty work.
He also has a pretty insane luck at go against him. Like, how many games have we been at where he has like a wide open net or something and his stick just snaps? He had an empty net goal and no pressure on him. He just shoots it and his stick just snaps. It disintegrates in his hands. They're like, what the fuck?
You also got to remember his rookie year, like, the refs hated him.
Oh, teams go after him.
Yeah.
Dude, in the playoffs against Boston, Charlie McAvoy two-handing him on the forearm and wrist.
I mean, he did slew foot him.
I don't give a shit. He slew-footed him because he put Doan's head into the boards.
I understand that, but like, if you're gonna slew-foot somebody, especially Charlie McAvoy, you have to expect the retaliation.
Two wrongs equal
I'm not saying what Charlie McAvoy did was right, but I can understand why he was angry.
It was warranted. Yeah, it wasn't.
No, I don't think ever two-handed the guy in the head like that. I don't think that's ever warranted. But I can understand why he was angry.
Warranted, he says,
because you lost. You're gonna get eliminated from the playoffs. It was kind of a cheap shot by Benson to slew foot him there in the first place. I can get the anger. You're pissed off. Your season's over. This guy's trying. Like this guy took you out. Like fuck you. I'm gonna take you out then. And it took him out. What, he get 3 games to start this season?
Yeah.
So it took him out 3 games for this regular season to start the season, which is kind of crazy that they suspended him into next year.
But I guess his season was over, so that's kind of what.
Oh yeah, I understand it, but I can't remember a time when I've seen that before.
I have no idea.
But yeah, Zach Benson, yeah, it was not a clean play from Benson.
No.
That clip that they had when Charlie McAvoy two-handed him, it's like all 5 Bruins are trying to get at Benson. You have the ref and Benson just kind of like skating away. And then obviously Benson's not going to take on 5 fucking Boston Bruins by himself.
Oh, I mean, would. He's crazy enough.
I think he's too stupid to be scared.
So
We've had this conversation before.
I love hearing about Tage just talk about Benson. He's like, that motherfucker is dumb.
Dude, he doesn't know where Vancouver is. He's from Vancouver. Like someone asked him to like fan Vancouver on a map or something. Like he's like, I don't know. I know where Winnipeg is though, because he played in Winnipeg in the WHL. But he's from Vancouver. He was born there.
It's like outside Vancouver.
But still, he's from around that area.
Yeah.
He's from that.
I think if you gave that kid a map, the only 2 places he'd find on the map are Winnipeg and Buffalo.
Yeah.
Tell him the mark where all 32 NHL teams are. He's 2 for 32.
I don't even think I could do that.
Well, I could.
I could.
The millimeter where they play.
Yeah,
you got to find it.
GeoGuessr for NHL arenas. Yeah,
I think they have it.
That'd be a fun thing to do if we have nothing to talk about.
You know what? It's like, okay, well, where is San Jose on the map? Nope, wrong street, buddy. Wrong street.
Well, it's not getting the exact address. It's like 2 streets over. It's like I know where San Jose is on a map. It's like around here, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, GeoGuessr. We should do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Isn't GeoGuessr like you have to get kind of almost the exact same spot?
Well, you get a higher score the closer you are to like the actual location.
Imagine it's like, all right, put San Jose, puts in North
like if you're like a mile away, you're gonna get a really high score. Yeah. Like
that's why I don't know how some of these guys do it. They look at a picture and they're like, I know exactly where this is. This is in Georgia, not the country.
I mean, those guys are kind of crazy.
Yeah. And they study the world.
There is literally,
this license plate is only in 2 regions.
I'm pretty sure there's some like pro GeoGuessr.
Oh no, there is. There's a professional like league where they've like contests and tournaments and stuff.
You can make a league out of anything.
I seen a clip. This guy was like, "This sand is only here," so that's where it is.
And he's right. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of clues that give it away for if you know enough or care enough to study all that stuff.
Those guys stay up all night.
So to 99.9999999% of people in the world, they do not give a shit.
No.
But to them, they were like, this is interesting. I want to find out everything I can about this.
It's just a little tiny pebble of rock. Yeah, I know where that is. Florida.
And those are usually the guys that work for the government because they can help them a lot.
Yeah.
It all comes down to this. A best-of-7 battle, and DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. Sweat every shift of the series, all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code THPN, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That is 467-3669. In Connecticut, help is available for gambling problems. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. Must be the age of 21 years or older. Age and eligibility vary by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after assurance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos for details. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only. Auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional terms at youtube.com/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Well, last but not least, sorry, actually, we have a couple more things. Cutter Gauthier, he ends up turning down a $4 million deal from the Anaheim Ducks. This just keeps carrying on, and the more we get into it, the more deep that we get into the offseason, I'm more convinced that he's going to be traded. And like you brought up before the recording here, Chris, where Gauthier is going to pull the same thing he did in Philly, where if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to force his way out. And I don't blame Gauthier for doing any of this at all, right? You see your right-hand man and Leo Carlson get the 5x18. The Ducks end up matching it. Now Gauthier is like, yeah, by the way, I want 16 million. I want 18 million because he had 2 more points than Leo Carlsson. He had 40 plus goals for the first time in his career. He's only going to get better. He's only 22 years old. The Ducks are not a playoff team without him, and they're a fringe playoff team with him at this point. Like, Gauthier could easily either be traded or sit out training camp at the bare minimum.
You look at the situation, it's a tough one for the Ducks because, you want to pay him, but, Philadelphia comes in and, offer sheets Leo Carlsson and, takes away a lot of the salary cap you were planning on using. But, Gauthier, he looks at it as like, I'm just as good as him. I should be getting paid around the same as him. And if Philly thinks he's worth $18 million, I'm worth almost that. And if you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to go somewhere else, or you're going to have to move pieces off your roster to pay me.
Right. I think the Ducks, when they offered him the 4x13, they're like, listen, okay, definitely understand you want more money. However, though, here's a 4-year contract that pretty much walks you right to UFA status so you can get a bigger contract. But Gauthier's like, no, I want it now. And he's totally valid for this. This can get to a situation where at this point, he's more likely to be traded than be play another game for the Anaheim Ducks if you're getting to this point. And obviously, we brought up before the recording where how many teams can actually afford the contract that he's asking for when it comes to him being traded. Because if the Ducks are obviously not going to trade him for pennies, right? They're going to trade him for what they think he's worth. And if they're not getting any offers, if they do eventually field calls for him, then so be it. You're not fucking playing hockey.
Cutter, you're moving to Calgary.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many teams that could really pull that off.
A, afford him salary-wise, and B, have the assets that would entice Anaheim to move on from him.
Yeah.
Right.
Because right now, I think they're at a bit of a stalemate where Anaheim's like, look, buddy, we don't have fucking cap space to pay you what you want. I don't think he's worth $18 million. But he said, well, you gave Leo $18 million, so I scored 40 goals last year.
No, there's clearly 2 teams in the league that thinks Leo's worth 18. So
the Ducks had to match that.
Yeah, I know, but they knew that it was a possibility, and they matched it. They clearly thought it was worth it to match it, and
Pat Verbeek masterclass.
Yeah.
Well, now if you're Anaheim, do you really want to pay 2 guys like $35 million, $36 million?
This is the way the NHL is going, though. These players are going to start fighting for themselves and fighting for every dollar.
This is an extreme situation, I think, where I don't think. I'd be shocked to see if other teams get into a situation like this where...
Well, yeah, this is going to drive the league to start paying guys early or even more early than they should.
Well, not only what happened with San Jose where they just said, how much do you want, Macklin?
Yeah. And after what came out is he was looking to take a team-friendly deal. And I get it. He's 19 years old. He put up 115 points. He's a blank check player. But...
I mean, Mike Greer said he did take a team-friendly deal because he didn't ask for the max.
Yeah.
And, two, when you look at the Ducks situation, right, I think Leo Carlsson's agent played this perfectly for not only Carlsson but also Gauthier. And I know he doesn't represent Gauthier or anything, but on the 32 Thoughts, I felt like they did Verbeek a little bit of like a service of saying, hey, it wasn't just Verbeek, it was also us really trying to get Carlsson the most money. So... They didn't talk contract from January 1st up until the end of the playoffs. They talked in the beginning of the year when Lindholm ended up getting his contract. But obviously, we talked about it about a month ago when it all came out that Carlsson and his agent wanted to see where Bedard fell and these other young players, and they want to see how Carlsson's season ended up panning out, etc. See if they can get more than the $10 million. And well, he played better than the $10 million value. Now, where this gets a little dicey when you're Verbeek is if Leo Carlsson and his agent specifically comes to you and says, listen, we got this offer sheet. Carlsson will stay here for $15 million and not sign this offer sheet. Do you want to, sign him for this contract representing final offer? And Verbeek says, no. And then that's when you get into a situation of, oh, by the way, it's 5 by $18 million offer sheet. And not only that as well, too, when you sign AJ Greer to the worst contract in the NHL now at 4 by 4.25.
I mean, there's definitely worse contracts, but it's,
right,
it's definitely a bad one.
Like now you give up $4.5 million, right? With just AJ Greer. Then you give up another $3 million with Leo Carlsson 4 to 5 of those extra $1 million go to Cutter Gauthier a month and a half ago, and we're not talking about this right now. You know, even if he is asking for the $18 million, Verbeek, no, I know he's a very hardball guy, but maybe he's like, fuck it. You know, I don't know. I don't blame Gauthier for doing any of this at all. I think we are going to get to the point where it's going to be mid-October, early November, and he's still not going to be under contract.
Well, Anaheim's in a really bad spot where it's like if they want to find the way to make the money work, they have to trade out their depth.
Mm-hmm.
Like middle six guys. Like there are some vets that are on pretty high contracts that might be hard to move. Like Frank Toronto, I think, was very hard to move. Same thing with Alex Killorn. I think Kreider might be able to. He had a solid season last year, so he might be able to make it work. But I don't think they want to trade him.
No,
I think they like where he fits on that roster, and I don't think they want to move him. So you'd have to give up some assets to get rid of some of those not so great contracts. And even then, nothing's guaranteed with a contract. Because right now, how much cap space do they have?
Like 9.
Say 9. And if the rumors are true that Cutter wants 18,
you're gonna have to trade 2 of those players.
Trading Frank Toronto and not retaining anything is not gonna work if Gauthier is asking for 16 plus.
Yeah. They're in a shitty situation.
I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. I think I think talks are going to really ramp up around training camp. I think he still has to report technically. I don't know if he does or not because he's technically not under contract, but I think it'd be a bad look if he didn't make some attempt to even. I know he can't play with the team, but at least be in like the Anaheim area just practicing and skating.
Cutter, get ready to learn Chinese.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, it gets to a point where it's like, what does Cutter genuinely want? And if he's serious about staying in Anaheim, then you got to find a way. You got to find some kind of compromise. But if it gets to the point where it's really all about the money for you, and for some players, that's it. That's all it is, and that's fine. At the end of the day, you can make a lot of money playing hockey. And if you just want to maximize that before you can potentially get hurt or anything could happen, I respect it. But then ask for a trade.
Yeah, Cutter's a very. We've learned this since he's been drafted. He's a very me type player. It's always about him,
and you can get away with that when you score 40 goals.
Yeah, you can, but you gotta play. It wouldn't shock me if they just come to an agreement where like, hey, 1-year deal, we'll figure it out next season.
I think
why hasn't that happened yet then?
I don't know.
That's gonna have to be a last second resort.
It'll be like middle of training camp. They'll be like, get on the ice, sign this, and we'll work through the year to get you what you want.
But if you're Cutter though, like, what if you don't have a great year?
It's a bet on yourself.
You're gonna have to at that point.
But it sounds like from everything we've heard, he's not willing to take that bet. He just wants to cash in now. And he saw what Karlsson get after what he felt he had like a better season than Karlsson because he scored 40 goals. I think Karlsson's the better all-around player, but you can't argue against 40 goals.
No, you can't. I mean, that's what got Jeff Skinner paid.
Yeah. And yeah, that's an elite number, and not many players can do that.
No.
So Cutter's like, look, I know what I am. I'm a 40-plus goal scorer in this league. You know, I'm 22 years old. Like, pay me what I'm worth. You paid. I had more goals than Leo last year, and he might be a better all-around player, but I scored 40 goals still. So if he's worth 18, I must be worth at least 16, 17, right?
And he had 2 more points than Leo as well.
Yeah.
And again, wingers, different than center when it comes offensively, but still.
No, I think Leo is the better player.
He is.
They benefit from playing with each other for sure, too.
And you want to know...
The positional value of winger to center is a lot more.
You want to know who this can affect just as much as Gauthier and Karlsson? Back at Seneca. He's due
it affects everyone.
Well, right, because not only is Seneca due for a new contract next offseason, but also as well, Seneca and Gauthier, when they play together, Seneca, it obviously produces more because you're playing with the, talent on your wing, on the other wing, but still, like you said, it affects everyone. It affects all their younger guys. Like, it even affects going all the way back to trading Zellweger, and then Mintugov ends up getting $3 or $4 more million than what he was.
The Zellweger trade still doesn't make much sense to me because we've talked about this before. He was a second-round pick. He spent 3 years developing him. He's a solid NHL player. And you just trade him away for a second-round pick, so you have to do it all over again, and a prospect where the prospect might become something, he might not, but you're trading away a guy you took your time developing. It wasn't going to cost an arm and a leg to keep around. It sounds like.
I mean, you see what he signed for.
Yeah.
And then, the whole offer sheet situation makes you overpay Mintyukov about $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
That cuts into the money you were going to give Cutter.
This entire situation just kept getting worse. It started with the whole did it? No, it started with the Zellweger and stuff, right? They trade him because they still don't have Carlson locked up. Then the second that happens, it's just like a snowball effect. It just like got faster down the hill, and now you got to this entire point.
This should be a cautionary tale to all the other GMs around the league that have built a lot of young talent that needs to get paid. You have to get ahead of it these days. You can't count on guys taking one for the team especially when they're younger. And playing ball with what you want to do, because clearly that isn't really the case anymore. And I give kudos to Mike Greer in San Jose for getting ahead of it, where he already got Celebrini signed a full year before anything bad could really happen. And they both made a commitment to each other. Wouldn't shock me if they try to get Will Smith signed as soon as they possibly can. Not as big of a rush, obviously, with Celebrini. But same thing with when Misa gets ready to get paid, or in a few years where
they're gonna have to pay Dickinson.
They have a lot of great young players, but what he did with Celebrini. I know Celebrini's a bit of a different situation because you don't really need to worry about what you're gonna pay him because he's a top 5 player in the NHL. He's 19 years old.
But you also kind of set the market if you're Mike Greer as well for San Jose's big. Listen, Macklin Celebrini's going to be our highest paid player, right? Mm-hmm. It's like I know the cap's rising exponentially. Nobody's going to ask for what Celebrini gets or whatever.
Yeah.
But you also set that bar as like, listen, Celebrini's getting this much. We're measuring every single guy's contract worth on that. If Will Smith puts up 70 points, if he's a 70 to 80 point guy playing on Celebrini's wing.
I see him getting like 10 to 12.
Right. Like you give him that $12 million, right? Like it's all playing. And I think Montreal has done this the best out of any team.
Montreal, I don't know what Kent Hughes tells these guys to take these contracts.
You could always, you can even throw a team like Buffalo, not to be biased, but they have a bunch of guys locked up on, smaller term deals. But even like Montreal is the prime example where all their forwards are locked up under $9 million, and then they only have 2 defensemen.
I mean,
how the fuck did they get Lane Hudson to take 8.5?
I don't know. I mean, you got, like you said, the Sabres. You got Benson and Doan locked up 7 years, around $7 million. You got Tage locked up for 3 more years, around 7. You got Samuelson at 4.2. Dahlin's the outlier at 11, but he's worth it. Power at 8.3. Mm-hmm. Like, they have all these core pieces locked up, and you're not paying.
Dude, they play Nate Suzuki 7.8, Caulfield 7.8, Savkovsky 7.6.
Demidov, I think, is the highest at 9, right?
No, Dobson 9.5.
They don't have
You can get away with paying Dobson 9.5 when you're paying Lane Hudson 8.8.
Yeah, and that was off his
yeah.
Lane Hudson's gonna get a bigger deal.
Oh, I heard a little bit more about that, and it was more of Lane just wanted to get the deal done. He's like, I don't want to worry about having to play in a contract year. I want to be here. Money's money. Like, what's the difference between $8 million and $10 million? If he would have played out this year, and
he would have
got like 14, 15 million. Like getting him on an 8-year deal for 8.8 per year is absurd.
And this is why you do it a year before they have to get the contract.
This is why you, as GMs, I think they're going to stop waiting for that contract year and just get it done.
You have to stop that. Like, it's one thing if the player and agent specifically tell the GM, we don't want to finalize a contract until next offseason when they're going into a contract year.
It's also one thing when you're looking at a player who's, not on the, say you take a player, he's like a 20, 30 point guy. He goes into his contract year and he puts up 60, then you gotta pay him more. It's like, you got to take that risk, and I think there's going to be a lot more GMs that do, especially with the rising cap.
But I think it does benefit the GMs a little bit here, where now a lot of these players only want 4-year deals. Like in short term, it benefits the GMs, right? Long term, though, if that 20, 30 point guy in his second season or third season, then you sign him, right? Let's say they sign him to like a $4 by $9 million deal, right? Obviously, cap's rising, so you get that inflation, and then the next 3 years during that contract, right? He puts up 60 points, 70 points, 72 points, whatever it is. Then you have to pay him even more money instead of doing like the $7 by $8 million deal, for example. I think that's where you can get a little bit into it. But I think there's a lot of pros and cons to the new era that we're moving into. NHL players wanting to take like those midterm deals for maybe a little bit of less money, or maybe there's some players that'll be like, all right, I want a $4 by $14 million deal, right? It obviously all depends, but GMs, please take Pat Verbeek's mistakes and learn from them. Yeah. And the only way, and I'm not going to take credit for this idea because this is from the What Chaos podcast. Sean, actually our boy, ended up bringing it up, where the only way to fix this in Anaheim legitimately is to just say, Verbeek, you're gone.
I think if the Ducks don't make the playoffs next year, I think he's done.
Which means, Pat Verbeek, you are done.
I think, and
that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's what
I'm saying. They're not making the playoffs.
I will sit here and believe that Pat Verbeek, if he got fired right now, right, bring in another GM, be like, that was the other fucking bozo in the. We're not doing this shit here, Gauthier. You're either signing for this contract or you're not playing hockey. Like, you have to come in
somewhere else.
Don't even give him that option. Be like, all right, fine, trade me. You know, don't even give him that option at first, you know? But again, the Ducks, if they would have fired Verbeek, they would have done it by now, to be honest with you. He's going to be in office for at least another year. And to be honest with you, if they don't make the playoffs, I like the fact where it's like, all right, you fucked this entire thing up in a year and a half, you're gone.
Especially if they end up having to trade Gauthier. Like, if I'm the Ducks owner, I'd be fucking furious.
Mm-hmm.
If like you fuck the situation up so bad where we have to trade our second best player away because we can't afford him because you fumbled the Leo Carlson situation so bad, you're just incompetent.
It's so crazy to me that it's an entire ripple effect. And like everything, not getting Carlson signed to this point literally fucked up like 6 other players on the roster and their situations with your team.
Like you said, it's just a snowball. It's one situation turns into 5.
Yeah, this is like Pat Verbeek, I guess, assumed that everyone was just gonna play ball and wasn't gonna be that hard to negotiate with, and you ain't living in that world anymore, buddy. That I think that era of the NHL is dead.
Yeah, you're not having guys, take team-friendly deals. It's all about them. You're not gonna have a McKinnon sign for like $6 million
unless you're Kent Hughes and you somehow convince all your star players to take like way less than they're worth. Yeah. Which I still don't know what the fuck does he tell them in these negotiations? Like, look, I know you want 15, but the best we can do is 8. If you don't take this, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, where do I sign?
He literally leans over on the desk. He's like, listen, buddy, okay, I know you're asking for a 7 by 15, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You're definitely not fucking worth. You're actually dog shit. I'll give you $6 million.
Nick Suzuki, you had 101 points last year. Best we could do is $8 million.
He walks into negotiations like arbitration. He's like, this guy ain't worth
it. And he looks him dead in the eyes like, are you a fucking idiot asking for this much money? I do want to see like a behind the scenes.
Like Cole Caulfield, you score 50 goals. You want $15 million? Score 60.
Yeah. Score 70. Then maybe I'll give you 11.
84, score 84 goals.
Like, who does this fucking guy think he is? He thinks fucking Wayne Gretzky, Alex Ovechkin. Who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Yeah.
What's your last name? Caulfield. Yeah, get the fuck out of my office. Motherfucker thinks he's Ovi. That's one good year.
Holy shit. So before we move on to my top 10 goaltenders heading into the season, again, another idea that was thrown out because, imagine Pittsburgh calls Anaheim's like, we'll do anything to get fucking Cutter Gauthier. And now, you know what? At this point, Philly has another reason to hate Pittsburgh even more. You have the player who you boo twice.
That would be crazy.
Did you imagine a playoff series of Cutter Gauthier and the Penguins?
I think
they play each other.
I think a fan might try to kill Gauthier, especially if he plays really well. Yeah. They're gonna
Game 7.
They're gonna need
double overtime.
They're gonna need police. It's like in front of his hotel room just to make sure he's okay.
You guys are talking about the fans. What about Gritty? Gritty's gonna go.
Gritty jump on the
I guarantee you, Gritty will just find someone in the crowd, with a Gauthier jersey on. It's like, hey, can we use you for an event we want to do in the Jumbotron? It's like, we'll give you a bunch of stuff, and they're like, sure. It just takes out a gun.
It's beating the shit out.
And everyone just goes crazy, like. Ah.
No, imagine, say hypothetically, Gauthier goes to Penguins. There's a Game 7 double overtime winner by Gauthier
in Philadelphia. Games
in Philadelphia. How would that arena be?
Start throwing shit on the ice.
Yeah, I think they just start throwing all the garbage on the ice.
Throwing their empty pop bottles and stuff. Fucking jerseys. Dude, I don't know why people throw jerseys on the ice, bro. I spent $300 for that. I'm keeping that shit. I don't give a shit.
You want to throw your sparkly Mitch Marner jersey on the ice?
No, I threw that shit out.
But you might as well throw it on the ice then.
At that point, yeah. All right, well, every single week, we're in the last week now, my positional rankings before we get into divisional previews. And this week, we have my top 10 goaltenders heading into the season. Of course, I give my list. Preston and Chris, they tell me how I'm rage baiting every single person that is watching, listening, and of course themselves. So moving on here, number 10, Dan Vladar. Already a problem with that, I know. 9, Jake Ottinger. 8, Philip Gustafson. Number 7, Jack Greaves. Number 6, Jeremy Swayman. Number 5, Ilya Sorokin. Number 4, Logan Thompson. Number 3, Igor Shesterkin. Number 2, Andrei Vasilevsky. And number 1, Connor Hellebuyck. I already exactly know where you guys are going with this, and I'm prepared.
Jake Ottinger, way too low. Why is Jack Greaves on this list?
Yes, I don't know why.
I knew you guys were going to say that.
Why is Philip Gustafson on this list? He's good, but Wallstedt's better.
Well,
why is Dan Vladar on this list?
I only put Gustafson. So I know this sounds, I guess, not a vendetta, but bad against Wallsted. Because Wallsted, I know he had the better season, a way better season by far. He only played like 30 games, 33 games, 35 games, which is why I was going to put him instead of Gustafson.
That's a stupid take.
Yeah, that's a weird reason to.
But I had to do it. I had to do it though because I left Matthew Tkachuk off the list because of his games played.
Well, but because Matthew Tkachuk missed a lot of the season to injury.
Yeah,
just
that is true.
That did not.
I think 30 games as a goalie is much different than 30 games as a forward.
Oh, much different, absolutely.
Well, yeah, you're not going to have a goalie that plays 70, 80 games.
And he played like 30 games and he played really well.
He did play really well.
And I think he'll be their starter next year.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I'm surprised they haven't moved off Gustafson yet.
It's not a bad. It's not a end of the world situation though.
It's a cap space thing.
Well, they also have Wallstead on a ELC.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I thought he signed a $2 million contract.
Still, it's like nothing.
Yeah, I know, but you could have another roster player out there for what you're paying Gustafson.
Yeah, okay. Wallstead is 2.2, but still, yeah,
it's still very cheap.
But Gustafson also has a no movement clause, so that's also maybe why they didn't trade him.
I'm sure if Wallstead goes into the season as starter, he'd be open to a trade.
Yeah, but you can worry about that next year.
Yeah, no.
I don't think Jack Greaves should be on this list.
If you're putting Jack Greaves on this list, you know who should be on this list.
Who, Luukkonen?
Yeah.
No,
Jack Greaves and Dan Vladar on there.
Jack Greaves, Jack Greaves, 55 games played, 908 save percentage. I know Luukkonen had 910, whatever, right? But the year before it, 938 save. I know, again, only 11 games played, 938, right? Like, okay, I know compared to you guys, I'm like astronomically higher on Jack Greaves than both of you.
I'm not saying he's bad. It's just these rankings should only take into account the past season. I'm gonna into this year.
I'm gonna be honest though. This is probably the toughest list I've had to make. To be honest with you, like I understand it's complete dog shit, but also
did I hear Jeremy Swayman at all?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
6.
I mean, I think that Vasilevsky should be 1. Honestly,
yeah, I mean, him and Hellebuyck are 1 and 2.
I mean, Hellebuyck wasn't great last year.
I still have him as the second or first.
Without a doubt, but I think Andrei Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the NHL. Going off of this past season, going to this year, I think he's number 1. I think Swayman, I'd probably move into the top 5 as well. I know Igor's great, but he wasn't spectacular last year. Swayman was one of the big reasons why the Bruins made the playoffs.
Carried them in the first round too.
Yeah, he was the reason why they were competitive at all in the playoffs. Kind of got put out to pasture in game 5.
Here's a crazy thought. Wait, hold on. Let me look at the list again. Yeah, he's not on here. Linus Ullmark. Very good goalie. And a lot of the reason Ottawa was even...
He is very good, but I don't think he was consistent enough to be put on the list.
I mean, I think you could even make an argument for Dobesh being 10.
Absolutely. If in the extended list, like if you even go to 12 or 13, Dobesh is there, Ullmark is there, Wallstead is there. Like there's a bunch of goalies. Honestly, if you really, in my opinion, from like 7 until 15, flip flop them either way. To be honest with you,
I'd have Bobrovsky close to the top 10.
No,
no.
I think he's kind of over the hill.
Yeah,
we'll see this year, but I still think he's closer to top 10 than Dan Vladar and Jet Greaves.
I think Bobrovsky's great when he has like an elite defensive core in front of him, but he doesn't have that in Toronto. He had that in Florida when they won the 2 cups, and this year their whole team got hurt and he wasn't that great.
Alex Lyon, number 1. Here we go.
I mean, like, I don't know. Once you get outside of like the top 4 or 5, it's just a fucking shit show, to be honest with you.
I mean, I think the top 6, it all's pretty agreeable. It's just I think
the order of
how
them.
you rank them, like Vasilevsky, Hellebuck.
Ottinger's definitely higher.
Shesterkin, Sorokin, Swayman, and Thompson are my top 6 goalies in the NHL.
How about you, Chris?
I mean, your top 6 is pretty much anyone's top 6.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's just how you want to rank them.
Yeah.
I think like
1 and 2 are interchangeable. I think those are yours.
I think even when Shesterkin's at the top of his game, he's also in that conversation for best goalie in the league.
Even Shesterkin, too, last season, as a down year for him, he still had a .912 save percentage and a 2.5 goals against.
Yeah, the Rangers just fucking sucked.
Yeah, they were really bad. Like, if they somehow make the playoffs, you're talking about Shesterkin still. No, you could put him higher.
Oh, he probably would have been a Vezina finalist if the Rangers made the playoffs last year, because it would have been him that made them get into the playoffs.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, if we're going off this, then why isn't Scott Wedgwood in your top 10?
Dude, I was thinking of Scott Wedgwood so fucking hard.
He's not even considering.
Where's UC Saros?
I don't
know. He's in Nashville.
Yeah, but to wrap things up here with the list, it was tough, man. After the top, I sat here for like a half an hour trying to get 7 through like 12.
Dude, I don't understand why you're in love with Jet Greaves so much.
Dude, this dude is. I'll just let him play. I'll just let him play this season. Just let him play. I'm not going to say anything else.
He's not bad, but I don't think he's the 7th best goalie in the NHL.
I don't even know if I would put him top 15.
No, he's definitely top 15.
I don't think he might be 15.
906. All the goaltenders below him, outside of I believe Dan Vladar, he had a better save percentage than. And you guys did say, just going off of last season, Jake Ottinger had an .899.
But we know what Jake Ottinger is, though.
But if we're going based off of just last season. Now, of course, if we're going what we know what he is, absolutely Jake Ottinger is, a more, I guess, I don't even know what word I'm looking for. I guess not certified, but
it's more than the box score. That's what I'm going to say.
You're going off of name value at this point, though. Like, name value, Jake Ottinger is like 7, and Jack Greaves is outside of the top 10. But anyways,
if Jack Greaves gets the Blue Jackets into the playoffs next year, he's the top 10 goalie.
I love it.
Let's buy a jersey.
I'm not going that far. But if the Blue Jackets make the playoffs and Jack Greaves is the big reason why, he's absolutely top 10.
I will say Preston already got burned by a jersey goalie. Or a goalie jersey.
Yeah, that was an impulse buy.
Yeah.
Who?
He bought a Devin Levi jersey.
Yeah. I bought it like when after he had that crazy run at the end of the year. I thought he was like, oh, we got our franchise goalie.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, fucking bring up 82-0. This is day 3 of going 82-0, or I guess 3rd episode. Now we are doing 3 rounds until we can get 82-0. So fucking run it up here.
Here we go. All right, Edmonton of the
Connor
top 10.
McDavid.
I wonder who we're gonna pick.
Here we go. Patrick Waugh. Not even a close one.
I think Patrick Waugh in the 90s would have been better.
Yeah.
Chris Chelios?
Ooh.
I want my real arrow try to get like Patrick Kane.
Okay, we could do that. Bobby Hull.
All right,
good.
that still works.
Yeah.
I think we respin.
Oh.
This is a tough one. Do we do era or team?
I do team.
Okay.
I'm
going to go Mark Howe.
Okay.
I'm going to throw him at lefty.
Fuck it.
Oh, there goes our run.
Oh, we're fucked.
It's okay.
Respin the arrow one more time.
Chicago, 1980s. Doug Wilson. Welcome to the team.
Oh.
We still get Marner.
Yeah.
How was that?
That's a 74-win team.
This is our best team we've had
How
so
one
far.
killed us.
Yeah.
Best team yet. All right, take 2.
Austin
All
Matthews.
right, there we go.
No.
I can't do it.
2020.
Yeah, I'm gonna Era.
Fuck.
Okay, we know Doug Wilson's an 89.
Okay.
Sharks of the 2000s.
Oh, Joe Thornton.
Did we do it for the memes?
No.
All right. You want team?
Oh.
No, we can't. Yeah. We can't even get rookie Crosby. But Ovi?
Holy fuck.
The Islanders were pretty fucking brutal in the 2000s.
We're gonna have to. The 85 still isn't bad. Minnesota. Oh, Nicholas Backstrom.
Go for it.
Yeah, he was solid.
He was.
87.
Oof. Era or team. Yeah. Boston.
Cam Neely.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Goulet's not bad. How is this worse? I don't understand.
It's because
we
had
Connor McDavid and Patrick Waugh.
And Mitch Marner.
Marty St. Louis.
Yeah. Only an 88. Boston of the 2010s.
Ooh.
Do we go Era and try and get Bork or Bobby Orr? Or do we just take Tim Thomas or Marchand?
This is tough. Do Era.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Ray Bork.
All right, that works.
Lefty, right D.
Lefty.
Okay.
Dude, spin that
Fuck
shit.
the Vancouver Canucks, bro.
Brad Park's good.
That works.
91.
Bang.
Dallas of the 20s, Jason Robertson.
Yeah. All right. Come on.
Howard Schuck.
That's not bad. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Do it.
87. We got to get a good goalie.
Fuck, bro.
Respin Arrow, try to get Luongo.
Fuck, man.
He's going to be like a 12.
Yeah. All right. We got fucked.
All right. Well, we got one more spin.
No, that was our third.
That was
one.
third?
Yep.
Fuck.
That first team was pretty good, though.
Yeah, it was. That was our best chance. But, yeah.
That goaltender fucked us.
Yeah.
That's going to end it for today's episode. If you guys enjoy all of our content, head over down to the description below to check us out on all of our social media platforms. Over on YouTube, subscribe, notification bell. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. New episodes every single Sunday during the off season at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see you guys in our next episode.